When you think you are done, check the list of guidelines one more time to make sure that there's nothing else you should do for your drawings. These are 3 drawings done by Violet. She's a 6th grader. She has her chalk one here, her pencil one here, and crayons. They all have shadows, they all have a background color, and they all have some details. So at this point, she is ready to put them onto a strip. You want to pick a background color for all 3 of your drawings. They're going to be lined up next to each other on this background color. It's probably best to pick a color that isn't the color of one of your drawings and a color that really makes your drawings pop. This brown doesn't look as good as the black that Violet chose, so we're going to go with that. When you lay out your drawings, pick an order that you think looks good. A color order, and this one I have yellow, then red, then blue. And you want to space them out so that there's about a finger's width on the edges, top and bottom and the sides, and then a little bit bigger than a finger in between each one, so more like a thumb in between each one. Now we're going to glue them in place. Okay, once you've picked your order, then you're going to glue each one down using a glue stick. Go around the outside edge of each piece of paper, a few lines in the middle, and then lay it back down so that it's nice and even on all edges. You have a little bit of opportunity to adjust if you need to before it's finally set, and then take a piece of scratch paper on top and rub it so that it pushes your artwork down onto the construction paper but doesn't smear. I'm going to do the red one. Try to space it out again. I'm going to use that same piece of paper. If I do my chalk one last, then I won't get chalk on this scratch paper and rub the chalk on the other 2. If you used hairspray, it should help, but you may still have a little bit of chalk. So here's my chalk one. Glue around the edges, glue in the middle, and then put your chalk one down, eyeball it, get it all lined up, scratch paper, and rub it so that it sticks. There you go. The next part to finishing your assignment is to do this written reflection and rubric. The first part are 3 questions about the materials, comparing the different types of materials that you use to do your drawings. Then the last part is to circle what grade you feel like you earned, and if you feel like you're in between, you can do in between and circle the parts that you feel like you did if you want to get a 2.5 or a 3.5. For example, here I say that my favorite drawing material is oil pastels because I like how they blend and you can add in highlights if you forget. The one that I like the least I wrote is chalk because it makes me sneeze. And one technique I learned was to scrape away the crayons so when it gets really thick you can create lines in lighter color if you scrape it away. I gave myself my grade, and now my last step is to glue this onto the back of my 3 media drawing. So I just flipped it over to the back side like this, and I'm going to glue it on here so that it does not go over the edge. I'm just going to put some glue on the top. I don't need to use as much glue this time. Glue it on there. And one last little step, which is kind of the most fun when you finish an artwork, is to put your initials down in this corner. Just write them really small. I'm going to let Violet do this herself, but initial all 3, and that way people will know who made these. And if you want to write your first name, you can, but just because these papers are so small, I think initials would be best. When you're done, hand it in to your teacher, and you can do some free drawing if you'd like, or whatever the teacher says.